on fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, Black and Filipino, to another episode of the Let's Keep It a Buck podcast, the only podcast in which we do things differently. Yes, we did kick off Damo. I tried to call Lo on the pod to get a new token fat black guy. We move on. We are looking for fat black guys to replace Damo. Listen, if you're new to this, you want to be true to this.
Someone said Dwayne is your time.
If you're new to this, you want to be true to this, make sure you hit that join button. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. I want to get within the Amish community. There's no real reason as to how they would be able to listen to us. And last but certainly not least, the only way to do that with the Amish community is if you leave a 5-star review. B-Souls, do you have a 5-star review?
5-star review from Brax Two Tone. Shout out to the pod for real. Been watching and listening for about 3 years now and been locked ever since. Y'all each bring something new and flavorful to the pod. And the real ones appreciate it. Even though it's Let's Keep It a Buck 4L. Shout out Souls and Sage. Damo, my favorite on the pod. And stop the Omar hate. Peace and love from DFW, Texas. Yes.
Appreciate that, gang.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
That's for the audio listeners.
Finally, this is what we've been talking about, bro. Why would you cut this?
Make sure you stick around because we got 3 big things. The big 3. The real big 3. We're talking about that Shaq and Shannon beef. God, big and stinky. We're going to recap the Denver and the Knicks. We got our lottery reactions. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not satisfied as a Hawks fan that we have first pick. Before we get into that, let's start off with the stat of the day. Stat of the day comes from Chris Vanini, Vannini. This is from the draft lottery. The Pistons have the worst record in the league, and they got pick number 5.
That's an air ball.
They also had the worst record in the league last year and got pick number 4.
Mild spoiler on my hot take.
I beg your pardon.
So the stat of the day says 18 NBA draft lotteries, the Pistons have moved up from their expected pick 1 time and moved down from their expected pick 9 times. They've lost.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
You suck, bro.
Nigga, all right. Oh, my God. Go ahead, bro.
They've lost a total of 11 draft slots over the last 5 years. 2 years in a row with the worst record and the number 5 pick. For people that like the visuals, let me just go ahead and display that. Yeah, that is crazy. Pre-lottery position. That's crazy.
Stat of the day, they sacrificed their team for football. They gave everything for the fucking Detroit Lions to be good. This is pathetic.
Yeah, somebody, and we'll most likely get into it, but
Wait.
somebody in the space was like, "Why do we keep robbing the Pistons?"
Robbing.
He said that. He's like, I feel bad. You feel bad because they suck.
The worst part is this last season, I think the Pistons were actually trying to win. They weren't even trying to tank for real.
Oh, yeah. No, they stank.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
You know who's having, and we'll definitely get into it, but man, some of this stuff about Bronny in the draft, not looking good, gang.
The media working, though.
You said what? The media working?
Peyton Watson. God, dude. 161, 168, dog. Like, all right, no.
I see that TikTok too. Let's compare Bronny to Peyton Watson. I mean,
there's a TikTok too? Oh my God.
They talked about their college stats look literally identical. And then I think at the end he was like, they both had braids at one point. Let's get into it, man. Hot take or hot ass? When we tell you if the take is hot or hot ass. If the take is a hot take or hot ass. If you take my hot ass, I don't know. This is from our friend of the show, family of the show, Draymond Green. who is I'm going to put him in the category of a bitter old man, just glazing it up, just glazing.
In the Eastern Conference, you can get to the conference finals a la the Atlanta Hawks with like playing very mid teams, and so that's kind of what y'all are doing right now. And I think
To a Knicks fan.
setting up for y'all up for is what happened to the Atlanta Hawks 3 years ago when they made the conference finals and they never got back. Another team to give you some perspective on this. Nope, but 1 second. Another team that did this to give you some perspective on this was the Portland Trailblazers years ago when they had Al-Farouq Aminu, Allen Crabbe, all those guys. They had all those guys, and they went to the conference finals, and we swept them pretty much without Steph Curry. They ran off and paid all of those guys because they thought they had a team that had a chance, and it was a fluke. And so that's what the Knicks are setting y'all up for right now, and it'll be probably another 15 years of misery that we all will sit around and laugh at Knicks fans with their delusion
All
about.
right, here we go.
That's,
Knicks
that's,
for clicks.
That's just,
you don't
that's
believe
just what it,
you
that's
know
just
what's
what
going to
happens.
This is crazy.
Now everybody wants to play on the big stage. You said it yourself. You love the Garden. It is the Mecca. And now we have a high-functioning team.
Niggas
I'm sorry, those pictures are
Those
crazy.
pictures are crazy. Alan Crabbe looked like he had a big juicy sty on his eye. That shit was nuts. They did them dirty. They could have picked the picture without the sty. I'm gonna just go ahead and kick it off, especially because he took a jab at my heart. Niggas get with the best point guard of all time and just start sucking dick. Oh my god. No.
Trey?
No, Draymond.
Oh. I'm just saying.
Just play with the best point guard of all time, second best point, wherever you want to rank Steph Curry. Don't give you the right to just start going around spitting that gobbledygook. Now, is he wrong? So what? Okay.
I was gonna piss y'all off. Hey.
Okay, but niggas forget. You beat the Western Conference. You go through the Western Conference when every starting point guard is injured, and the next year y'all get smacked by LeBron, right? And then you had to get in the parking lot. Kevin, meet me in the Hamptons, Kevin. I need to talk to you. Yeah, let's not forget that happened with you. So it's hot ass for me. I don't care.
I just need to find out the context in these clips. Like, what prompted it? Because I need to find out if he was just like, you know what I want to talk about today? How the Knicks are frauds. If it was asked to him, what do you think about the Knicks run? Maybe I'm gonna throw him some bail. But if it's just on some random dick suck shit, it's still a W take. I can't lie. I mean, I still agree with it. But nah, brother. It's either hate or not hate. That's the real question for me.
Yeah, I'll say that. I thought you were going somewhere different with that. Yeah, no, it's definitely a hot take. It's actually damn near a true take. I'd even go as far as to say maybe the standards of fans are a little too high at times, but in terms of results by team, yeah, a lot of your teams make the ECF or the WCF, and y'all just be tooting the horn like it don't exist. Hell, the Hawks, I hate to do it to you, but like the Hawks, like in 2021, couldn't tell them shit when they were there. And here they are, number one pick in the draft, like 3 years later. It's kind of crazy, man. So yeah,
That's hate.
Playoff success. I'm just proving a point, man. We're out to.
You know what, Sage? I agree with you. Just like when we
were there, yeah.
When you win a bubble ring and then you just double down.
Go to the conference finals a year later after we're healthy.
And then you double down on the nonsense, and then you're at home with us. I understand,
but
with
to lose to the team that we played in the bubble, man. Fuck Jokic, but nah. Fuck Nikola, but nah, he's obviously the context of it may have been dick suck, but the take's just true, y'all. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't disagree with him. Lottery teams get this one fluky run and double down on it. Like we've seen it happen. I think the only time that I didn't see it happen in my lifetime, for real, I don't think the Hawks ran it back in 2015. We made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and they were like, man, hey. Al Horford, you're gone. Paul Millsap, you're gone. Kyle Korver to the Cavs after they just beat us. Yeah, all of y'all are gone. We didn't really double down on any of you guys. And specifically what Draymond is talking about, what I thought was the egregious contracts. Because, they after that one Eastern Conference Finals run, for whatever reason, they love to back out a $50 billion contract for people. 2 years, $700 million. It's like, whoa, that's kind of crazy, gang. But they do it every single time. He's not wrong. But he has to remember where he came from.
Oh,
okay.
So you're humbling Draymond today, basically.
Yeah.
Well,
They faced injured point guards.
Gang. Go ahead.
They faced injured point guards in 2015, right? Y'all beat LeBron without Kyrie, Kevin Love, right? So more injured point guards. Y'all lost the next year. You cried, Kevin Levin, please, Papa, come save us. We can't beat Bron. We can't beat a healthy team. And then that's how you have a name today. So if we're talking about all the flukes, talk about all the flukes. Why can't this be a situation where teams want to go play for New York? I think we all can know it's better when New York is better at basketball. Like, it's better for the league. I would want to play there. I think we all decided if we were to play for one team when they're good, New York is at the top of the list. Like, it's New York, LA. Yeah.
I think it's easy them too.
New York,
so
LA, Miami 3.
Come on.
Yeah, probably.
Why is he being obtuse right now?
I didn't even say Boston 3. Random semantics.
He's out because he's out of the playoffs, huh? Draymond, because it's over with, huh?
There's injuries every year, though. He plays in front of you.
Yeah, hey, exactly. You play who's in front of you. We don't critique it for saying it's fluky. We don't do any of that. We just say it is what it is. Just like y'all lost when Kawhi and them came and smacked y'all around, right?
But he didn't say it was because of injuries, though. That's my only thing. Like, he didn't say the Knicks run was fluky because of injuries. It's just
he just said fluky in general. We know what the conversation is about when they say that. We know what it is. I'm not oblivious. I know what it is.
It's not about injuries, though.
The Knicks run?
Yeah.
Somebody
could say so because Indiana's a little.
But the injuries are definitely on. Well, not the Knicks' favor. Yeah, the Knicks are banged up. They're the ones banged up.
No,
they did that to themselves, though. I say that. I'll be fair.
Could say that too. And also, he would probably make the conversation like, "Oh yeah, y'all will be playing the Bucks if Giannis was healthy, right?" You could also say that. But I also remember, and I just pulled it up. Draymond played all 6 games when they played Kawhi in them. He averaged 13,
he did lie. Curry was there.
13, 11, 9, and 2 on 26% from 3. So just check yourself, Draymond. Just check yourself. That's all. That's all I gotta say, man.
Yeah, I think he confused Curry and KD. KD wasn't there. Curry was definitely there. Now, if you want to say Curry was hurt, cool. But Curry.
So who said Curry wasn't there?
I think in the clip he said Curry. We beat the Blazers with barely Steph Curry there, or something like that.
Yeah.
And Curry was there.
He might be talking about 16. I don't know.
Regardless, check yourself, because if Michael Cooper was running around talking about what he did, we know it was Magic Gang. We know. Another hot take or hot ass. Lou Will, a real one, is taking on the football NBA player situation.
Because I got something to say. Austin saying there's 30 NFL players that can't play in the NBA, but there's 30 NBA players that can't play in the NFL. I think everybody should respect everybody's craft. I don't think there's 30 NBA players that can play in the NFL. I don't think there's 30 NFL players that can play in the NBA. Now, they're going to have some freaks of nature, some guys that can just play whatever. That's any sport. We all athletes. My problem where this conversation is going is I don't like the fact that the NFL players are saying their argument is, oh, y'all soft. Like, y'all flop, this and that. And let's be clear, y'all must flop too. It's football more than running, jumping, catching. Hell yeah. It's agility. It's smart. It's chess. It's being able to beat your man off the line. Trying to keep somebody in front of you that's trying to beat you off the line. I respect all of that shit. But when we start getting into the conversation about basketball players being soft, this and that, basketball is way more contact than we get credit for. He's on both sides, bro. So I don't want this conversation to get swayed like we the only ones. But no. I see some of y'all catching that ball, getting down too. Let's not make this a physicality conversation. Let's talk about skill. Catching that ball is a skill. Being fast, that is a skill. Being able to read defenses and trump that matchup, that is a skill. Shooting a jump shot way harder than all that shit, man.
Okay.
No, man. He had me through the first 3 quarters. Hell, even the 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. All right, come on, man. You didn't have to be a dick. Yeah, like, what's up with that, bro?
Turn the ball over in the last second.
I'm about to say, it consistently, I'm not going to let that last jab slide because even though y'all know I'm horrid at basketball and shit. However, I'll say consistently being able to make catches in traffic is nigga. That's a hard thing to do. And that's just off rip. So saying a jump shot clears all NFL skills is kind of crazy, but shooting a jump shot is definitely difficult. Regardless, outside of that small nitpick. Yeah, and throwing the fucking ball. What am I talking about? Throwing the ball? Yeah, any fucking way. Regardless, overall though, I'll say for 99.9%, definitely hot take more than hot ass. Obviously it started off pretty PC, but then when we get to where it's really a hot take is the idea that a lot of skilled players, not 30, but skilled players in the NBA exist to do certain skills in the NBA, and it's more than just who can take a hit and who can't. I 100% agree with that. Seeing the defense was probably his best example of it, as well as catching the football. Hell, maybe Curry's the best quarterback we've ever seen in our fucking life. So for sure he's cooking there. Just the jump shot clears the NFL thing, I think, as hard as it is, and I know majority of our comment section is NBA fans, that's ridiculous. Yeah,
it was just the last part that I think he lost me at, but I don't know. I just believe when it comes to being elite at basketball, the things that you need to be elite at basketball just translates so well to every other sport. Maybe outside of soccer, but I still think it translates. Just being tall, being fast, being strong, being able to read defenses as well, because that's still a part of basketball. Yeah, just all of that shit translates. So,
if we're talking about out of like, I'm gonna keep it the big 3 major sports. So that would be.
I'm assuming your third. Or no, soccer.
Football, basketball, baseball. Just keep it to the big 3. There may even be an argument that basketball, if we're saying the most difficult thing in basketball is shooting a jump shot, you can add whatever caveat you want to make it harder, a deep jump shot, a jump shot on the move.
That's easier than the 3.
I can't even say that. I don't know what just happened. I can't even say that. If we're talking about out of the big 3, baseball is the hardest. Hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do.
I've tried. I played baseball, nigga. Hey, I was only allowed on the team because I could sprint. So if I hit the ball, he good. They said I could get I could get a double because that's how niggas was slow when I was playing. I don't know what it was about, but
I don't think many people have seen a 90-mile-per-hour thing come at them. Just anyway, pause. But hitting a baseball is by far 1. Number 2 would be throwing a football. So at that point, I would argue that shooting a jump shot is the easiest out of even the big 3. So I don't know why Lou Will did that. That's a hot ass. That's hot ass for me.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe just the most the elite athletes just pick basketball because the money's in it, I guess. But in terms of imagine if NBA players just decided from day one, it just financially made sense. It was cooler to them to be a baseball player or a football player. What this conversation would be. That is interesting.
I'll even cut him some bail here though. In the sense of we still agree with majority of what he's saying. I think we all have the same take. So I guess to make our own hot take or hot ass here, I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole myself. How many skills in football I think are harder than a jump shot? Throwing a football, covering a receiver. Damn, no, covering a receiver might be worse than easy. Holy shit. Covering a receiver is easy. Covering a receiver is easy to you?
No, easily harder.
I'm about to say no. Covering a receiver is crazy. Damn.
Kicking a field goal.
I'd say that's on par.
Then a jump shot?
I say it's pretty on par because it's just about the footwork thing. But I can see it. Even though a lot of people would detect. I don't know. Hey. But that's what I'm saying though, Lou. That's the only thing you lose me on, because if we really want to do this, we could be weird. And at baseball, I don't.
Is it doing it at good levels or just doing it? Because 40-year-old fat out of shape people can hit a jump shot. That's my thing. But can they hit a field goal?
They can also kick a football pretty far, 30 yards maybe, but 60.
But even then, and we don't have to really dive into it. The ability to kick it enough to make the field goal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, if you ask me to convert on the field goal versus convert on 3-point shots, I think kicking a field goal would be harder. I'll say that. Maybe that's weird, but I think ultimately just by design of the sport, by effort that you have to put in, yeah, because even with the field goal shit, you got to measure for winning all that.
I was say, I've only kicked the field goal like maybe 2 times in my life, just off of some practice shit. If I had 10 threes and I also
10 field goals, you're going.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, but I played more basketball, so I won't even go there. Let me not do that. Ultimately, though, yeah, baseball is, and somebody said it in the chat. Every year, I see people who have no jump shot all of a sudden develop the ability to start hitting jump shots. Did y'all see Zach Edey shoot jump shots for the draft combine shit? Zach Edey's the Frankenstein college basketball player, the one they said had zero skill. He's just literally Frankenstein.
You don't think it's one of those things like he's always had in his bag? He just doesn't do it in game just because.
And that could be the case. I've never seen him do it at practice. I've never seen any footage of Zach Edey doing it. That's what I'm saying.
I've just never seen Zach Edey at practice. So.
and that's true. All I'm gonna say is I've never seen Zach Edey do it. And then today, Zach Edey goes like 18 for 20.
So you think he's an NBA prospect now?
Hey, I've been thought that. I was like, fuck it. At some point, somebody got to draft him and just throw him out there. I've been said that. So,
okay.
But I've never seen a baseball player just like, you know what? Get out there, man. Pitch. I've seen running backs and stuff do like passes and stuff. It's only one route. It's one route. They are only throwing a go route. Christian McCaffrey, throw the go route, man. That's all you got. That's all you got on you. We got one more. And when NBA players attack current NBA players, it's got to be the funniest thing in the world. So this is the next hot take or hot ass. This is Sage's guy. Bilal Coulibaly for the Washington Wizards has something to say about Swaggy P.
A recent French language interview, you said that Pascal Siakam was overrated and that some of his offensive moves perhaps are a little bit easy to anticipate. Did we lose something in translation there? Do you stand by that?
I stand by that. I just said that. No, he was not overrated, but they were asking me kind of like who was the easiest superstar to guard, and I was like, Pascal. I watched the films and I knew what he was about to do when he was going left, spinning around, going right. So yeah, I was like, yeah, he was the easiest superstar to guard.
That's okay. Are there other players like that? Like when we're watching the games, you obviously see something completely different than we do. Are there other guys who maybe make it look easy that you think are a little overrated?
Like that, I can't really tell y'all, but yeah.
Smart. I was trying to trap you, Bilal, and you passed.
This is crazy. This is insane.
First of all, calling Siakam a superstar, that's a bailout to that question. I'm gonna keep it a stack. That's a bailout.
Also, he dropped just for reference. Pascal dropped 32 or 31 on Bilal when they played. That's his average for playing Bilal. I don't like Chandler Parsons in there just because. But what we thinking? Hot take or hot ass?
That Pascal Siakam's game is predictable. That's the take. Yeah, I'm a little confused, but I think that's what the take was.
Is Pascal Siakam the easiest superstar to guard?
Well, question one is he a superstar?
No.
So no. He's not a superstar. What the fuck?
Oh.
No. But out of all the superstars, is Dame a super? No, let me chill.
Oh my god. Yo, he's just trying to start some shit. Let me pull up some teams right now.
Tatum.
Nah, I ain't gonna do that, bro. I don't hate y'all that much. I just want y'all to lose.
I would say this. I don't. He definitely has something personal against Pascal Siakam. Only because when asked about another one, I can't really say why you couldn't say the first time. Pascal must have busted his ass for real. Just really gave him that work. That's interesting.
Yeah, I doubt he's the easiest. I'm just looking at all the teams in the league.
Yeah,
like
even
obviously,
guarding?
if we're talking about non-scorers, then of course. But hey, I don't think he's the easiest.
Rudy, Draymond.
Yeah, if we're going down there, stars.
Yeah, I was at least trying to cut him some bail and think that he's talking about people that put the ball in the basket. But if we're talking about literally anybody with the superstar acclamation to him, then there's like analyst people that don't even expert, like that's not even their forte. Like Bam, for example. Like I would say got some for that, but that'd be cutting it kind of close.
I think Bam. Oh, hold on, I think Bam got a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm about to say Bam kind of a bucket. Bam a little shiftier, obviously more physically intimidating. So
all right. Well, with that being said, I'll let Biso start it off. Hot take of the week.
Go to Sage. I'm not prepared.
Oh my gosh. Sage, hot take of the week.
All right, man. We kind of hinted at my hot take of the week earlier when we were talking about the Detroit Pistons, but just to bring back an old hot take, but it's perfectly timed. Yeah, tanking is overrated again. I'm not gonna lie. I'm tripling down on it even further. The Atlanta Hawks and the Detroit Pistons have proved yet again that you guys forget that, hey, losing games is fine until you realize you're in the draft lottery. You're in the draft lottery, ladies and gentlemen. But it's more than just that. That's pretty surface level. That's just why I'm bringing it up amongst. We talk about luck and lottery things. Omar said it earlier. Good teams get lucky. Hell, every championship team gets lucky. We just reviewed a clip about making the conference finals being potentially lucky. So all of these things and deciding to lose on purpose is still kind of crazy to me, despite all of that, especially in an era where everyone's good, apparently. And I'm not even saying apparently on some sarcastic shit. I genuinely think there's probably just a bunch of hidden talents out there that aren't getting the opportunity. So if everybody's good, use your money, nigga. You sign your contracts. In my personal opinion, the only teams that should be tanking are teams that missed on contracts and simultaneously draft picks, and now you're just stuck. And there's nothing else for you to fucking do but trade bad contract for a second or some shit and then move on. Those are the only teams that should be necessarily tanking. But when you consider the lottery, when you consider, unfortunately, but you have to, injuries or any fluke possible runs and consider even the great teams have to get lucky as well. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way that you're going to convince me that tanking is the best way to rebuild in 2024, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, etc.
How would you rebuild? Just ideally,
you rebuild through either free agency or smarter picks in the draft. So if everyone's good, that means there's a higher floor. If there's a higher floor, that means there's more assets to gain. So if I'm a team and I have endless salary cap, if I was a bad team, like let's say I'm the Wizards right now, right? I'd say that's like the most directionless but yet shit team. For starters, looking at free agency, I don't know. I know we get so semantic-y with the names and shit, but like if I could sign me like J Max or OG Ananobis or whatever, overpay them a bit, if you will. Cool. I have my future role players. They're probably not going to be overpaid when I finally draft a guy that's the number one you miss in the draft. That's fine. You can also trade your draft picks. I think people that think you can only rebuild through the draft is kind of crazy. Most importantly, hey, if I sign these players and I keep missing on my picks, I still have future picks because we still suck. Let's go trade for one of the picks that did actually pan out, or one of the players that I think, hey, if they were given an opportunity, they'd cook on some Jalen Brunson shit. So I think there's just way too many avenues. I could look at a team like the Toronto Raptors who put it all into one season. I could look at a team like the Milwaukee Bucks, even in the way they did it, where they didn't necessarily tank, but they just kept gradually getting better. You could look at a team like Golden State even, which, yeah, they took that one step back, but then after that, they've been kind of cooking ever since. And you just got to be smarter in 2022. I think there's just infinitely better ways to do it than just saying, all right, man, we're older now. We need to just be trash. Certain exceptions go for outside of the one I named is probably an Atlanta Hawks situation where you could be powerful if you just said fuck it for a year. Like, you'd be very powerful.
I just feel like it's a case of like give a bad cook great ingredients, he still can't cook shit. And I feel like a lot of these people at the bottom of the NBA,
that's fair,
are in NBA terms bad cooks. So you give the Pistons these great assets, you give the Wizards these great assets. They don't know how to scout, they don't know how to make the right picks. So what the fuck is this great asset even for?
Sign improvement talent.
I was gonna say the same thing. I'm actually pro tanking, so I'm usually against Sage on this, but I understand what he's saying. Mm-hmm. The only problem is with the route that Sage is saying, it should work, especially in 2024. This is supposed to be the most talented league, so the idea of finding non-talented players is really ridiculous. But this will require the front office to be smarter than what it is for some of these teams. And for some reason, in the smartest league, in the smartest era, smartest time, all this stuff, there are still teams that continuously do dumb things and dumb decisions, which is going to lead me into my hot take, but I'll save it. So I would ideally like to go that route, but it's for y'all dumb teams, keep tanking until you just hit the lottery of the
accidentally win.
Yeah, until you accidentally hit a LeBron, until you accidentally hit a Wemby, until you accidentally hit a Kevin Durant, until you accidentally hit some of these things. But that would be my. But I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Bezos.
I got a hot take. It's not basketball related though, but the Kendrick Drake beef is now officially corny to me. To me, the things that's been going on over the last 2 days with the secret account, even motherfuckers today psychoanalyzing, act having like dog sounds in the stream. It has reached a corny point. Motherfuckers are reaching for straws now. The beef's over. Move on. Go touch grass. Go get a job. I'm back on that timing with this. It was entertaining while it was at its peak, but until Drake or Kendrick directly says something, bro, is cooked. Hey, this is how you make bread. I don't expect you to stop, but everyone else, nah, this shit's cooked, bro.
I can't necessarily call it. Excuse me, my bad. I can't necessarily call the beef corny. I just think I think it's just a situation where a lot of corny niggas are in the rap beef. Like a lot of corny niggas are able to speak on the rap beef. Sorry, not in it. So as a result, yeah, you're going to get some people that just like got to drag the shit out of it. So right now it's pretty dead. The nigga Drake, I don't even necessarily call it a straight concession more than he having to just, hey, I'm not a peed, but if that's going to be the last track of it, then damn, that is what it is. Ended there. But instead, people are trying to do everything they can to, milk the content out of it, see if something else could happen. People still try to force certain songs down your ear and shit like that. I think overall, it's just a bunch of corny niggas speaking on the game. I don't think that makes the beef inherently corny. It's still going to go down as generational, so it's getting generational response.
Oh yeah. The beef overall is not corny to me, but everything from the last 3 days and on, this shit is lame now, bro.
Yeah. Current state is corny. I understand and I agree. So to me, which will lead us into our next topic. So I think we all know my former team won the lottery not too long ago. This isn't necessarily the hottest of takes, and I was gonna go with the WNBA chartered flight take, just to, one day I'm going to go back through every single comment. I'm going to go back through every single video response I've ever made for the people that were talking about the revenue. And you got to have profit to make these advancements and stuff like that. And then look at what they've done in the past month and a half, 2 months. Oh my God. And just, God, you were just so stupid. God, you were just so wrong. I'm ready to have my I told you so party for that. But that's not where I'm going. I am inviting people to get on the bandwagon. The hopping off the Hawks bandwagon.
Oh no!
Hey Landry, congratulations on the pick. But I think one of the other questions besides drafting the pick, there's always going to be questions on do you keep the pick? What's your thoughts on that? Is this a surefire draft pick, or could there be movement with this pick?
Not even our focus right now. This is a point in time where the opportunity that's before us is an excellent opportunity. And it puts us in position, right? Like positioning is key in this business, and that's the position we have right now, number one position. So we'll just keep doing what we do, gather as a group, and we'll figure this thing out in time.
Oh, I don't know what your resolution is going to be, but that's still.
What was the question?
What?
Hey, besides keeping the pick, what are you exploring other options?
No, and their answer was no.
The answer was no.
We're keeping what we got.
Well, the answer wasn't no. The answer wasn't, hey, that's not even on the table. This is a no-brainer, slam dunk, home run type situation. We have a guy we're drafting. The answer was, we're in the best position. We're gonna.
Yeah, they're thinking about it.
So my hot take of the week is join the bandwagon. The Hawks are going to fumble again. And I'm going to tell you, for you young Hawks fans, to avoid the heartbreak that I've endured from being a Hawks fan for X amount of years, especially for you younger guys, to see a generational fumble twice in less than 10 years, 18 and then this year, nah, don't even do it to yourself, gang. Just go ahead. Let's go. Pick up a purple and gold.
Not what I expected today. I say that.
Bro, if the Hawks trade the number 1 pick, and I don't know, Ron Holland becomes Donovan Mitchell, and Alex Sarr becomes, well, actually the opposite. I don't know if they trade the number 1 pick, and then this could go bad. I could see it going bad, bro.
And be, nah.
Yeah, if Alex Sarr becomes Embiid or some shit, and then
for me, and maybe I think differently than people up here, but I still don't like the sound of that because, truthfully, I think the Hawks.
Hold on, I'm sorry, Sage. Switching teams is so corny.
Certain motherfuckers got passes. I ain't gonna lie.
Round 1, fight.
You don't know pain. You don't know. Again, Luka and Trey is relatively new. I've seen us pass over on Chris Paul, right? I've seen us pass over on Pau Gasol. I've seen us pass over on so many people.
We found out about new shit they passed on like this last week.
People talking about I'm a Bulls fan, I'm a Nets fan. Stop, bro. I get it. Switching teams can be so corny. You don't got no affiliation to these guys. You do not have to subject yourself to heart attack, to pain. I've cried a couple times for sports, multiple times of those crying. Really, it was one time for LeBron James. The rest of them was for the Atlanta Falcons. I don't talk football at all anymore. I'm a happier and healthier individual. Y'all wonder why my hairline is like this today? Is because we could not beat the Green Bay Packers back in like 2012. We could not beat the San Francisco 49ers back in 14 or whatever. Trust me, it's much easier to do it this way.
Well, what do you think the Hawks are going to do?
Well, let's get into it. I'm glad you asked, B-Souls.
What do you think they should do, by the way, as well?
Yeah, so the draft lottery just passed. We're talking about it at this moment, so it's not too much of a secret. But the Atlanta Hawks end up with the very first pick. Washington is 2. The Rockets are 3. Trailblazers down there 14th. OKC and the Spurs are in the lottery. We already talked about, and I just want to get everybody's reactions. We already talked about Detroit probably being the biggest loser. I don't think that that's a question.
Yeah.
Any other losers that you see here?
Toronto. They played like shit to not have a lottery pick. And I believe Chat told me they got a pick swap with the Spurs, so they're about to have the Spurs pick next year. And that Spurs pick, depending on the offseason moves that they make, may not be as valuable. So the Raptors.
Okay. Sage?
For me, there was potential for I think the Thunder to go higher, but they're not a loser by any stretch considering their current state. Easy Chicago Bulls. You're way too bad to be drafting at pick 11. I know my college guys, every draft is the best draft ever, and then the casuals, every draft is weak. Fine, whatever. 11 is not the best pick to have in the lottery. Chicago is way too not talented. I wouldn't say Chicago is even a top 3 team on this board, or a top 5 team on this board, or a top 8 team on this board. Chicago sucks, and they're at 11. That's tough.
I'm gonna go Chicago to potentially a player on the Houston Rockets, because decisions will have to be made. They cannot continue to draft this high and get people like this. Their decisions will have to be made. So somebody's going to lose. Jalen Green, Tari Eason. Oh yeah, Brooklyn is a loser as well. Biggest winners on this. I'm gonna go ahead and say it: the San Antonio Spurs.
That's not a discussion outside of the one and only Atlanta Hawks. So it can just be which one we choose. I'll just be different and say the Hawks because my God, they're powerful now. They're very powerful now. What I was going to tap into and turn into answer Biso's question, what they should do or anything, is not what Landry Field says, but consider everything. My goodness, you lucked into pick one. You've talked about trading Trey and DeJounte Jordan for years, let alone just now. You have infinite options. You can go all in. You can try to draft the best guy right now and then keep Trey and DJ and then try to draft somebody else and boom, whatever. You can go completely backwards. Say, yeah, you know what? Fuck Trey. Get more picks. You know what? Fuck DeJounte Murray. Get more picks. Hell, fuck pick one. Let's go to pick 5 and get more picks. You have infinite options. There is no reason that these niggas are going to sit there and just be like, hey, we got pick 1. Let's get it. No! Do your job. Oh my God, they have infinite power. This is like when they instantly overnight became one of the best teams in terms of pure assets and potential, in my personal opinion, because they can do anything. They legitimately can do anything, and I'm scared that they're gonna fuck it up too.
So you don't think they should just take Sarr at 1? Just keep it simple.
I don't know shit about Alexander Sarr, so I can't really dive on that or not. I hear his name a lot, but I don't know 5 things about this draft, so I'm not your guy for that. That's not my job. What I am saying is, if you can get a certain amount of assets for Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, one of the two, to go alongside an Alexander Sarr, if you think you can get a guy that's not Alexander Sarr, but he damn good at 3 or 4, you could trade down, get you an extra pick. There's again so many options. Complacency is the last thing I want to see the Hawks do. I'll say the last thing I want to see the Hawks do is not trade DeJounte Murray, not trade Trae Young, draft with pick 1, and don't sign a multitude of players. If they're basically bring the beat back with the new number 1 pick, easiest, biggest fumble possible.
Let me just put this on the screen.
Okay. I thought it was like 6'10", 7'1".
I'll let the rest of the world, do their due diligence on Star. I'm sorry. Really, really great defensive player. Really, really, great defensive on both the wing and the, of course, the potential to be in the paint. I'll show some of his wing defense. This is a 7-minute video from D-Lee 3. We're not going to show the whole thing, of course. Is this right? Yeah, it's the right tab. That's him on the perimeter over there.
Oh, yeah.
They feel like
well, like J-Mac out there. Yeah.
He's not slow. He's not slow.
Yeah.
Guy with some feet
he's
on.
kind of quick. Oh, yeah.
This is a guy with some feet on him. That's him again, defending the ball.
Huh. I like this guy.
Yeah, I hate to hop on, but he literally do look like Jalen McDaniels on defense. Literally.
He look like Super Saiyan John Collins, man.
Oh, and look, stop. And look, I was very down when this officially got announced, because I was like, dang, it's just our luck that we get that type of pick the year after, Wemby. Not a bad player. Literally, when describing what team you would build with the current ball handling system you have, I think a lot of people would say you start right here. You start right here. You start with a good defensive big, one that can protect, Trae Young from his weaknesses, people getting to the rim, all this stuff like that. One that can catch lobs. You start with this player right here. Then you go wing. But for sure, you start right here. Luka, we said the same thing. Hey, as soon as he gets a big. James Harden, as soon as he gets a big. Curry the 1 year. Dang, if he had just a big, this is what these things can be. So when you have a heliocentric offense, the first thing that you do to build a championship team is get a big. You have the opportunity in Atlanta to get a guy that is a perfect fit. Like what you've been begging for to get to Trae Young. Yeah. Or find out a lot about, you just have a perfect fit right here. But I'm seeing reports of things that just, again, totally have me off the bandwagon. One team's analytical department believes this draft class is viewed as starting off with the number 7 or number 1 overall pick in a normal year. The 2024 class is viewed around the association as one of the worst in 25 years. If the Hawks ingest that noise, and if the Hawks ingest this noise, there's a growing belief that Atlanta will consider trading Trae Young this summer. There's a growing belief, this is per Jake L. Fisher, there's a growing belief among rival teams that the summer will also put all-star Trae Young in on the league's trade block. Perhaps Atlanta will look to attach the top pick to one of those players in their upcoming trade conversations.
Attach the top pick to Trae?
Yeah. Why would you do that?
Gang.
What the fuck?
Why would you do that?
You know, I don't even know.
Did I misread that? Because sometimes I be misreading
Even if we misread it and it was attaching the top pick in DeJounte, why would you do that? No, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, there's not a player not named Victor Wembanyama or Luka Doncic maybe, but it just doesn't even rationally make sense even for him. Why would you do that? No.
And you're asking why would you do that, but every time I get on that plane,
they do it.
I always say to myself, why would the Atlanta Hawks do that? And I'm reminded every single year about a guy wearing 11, about us tripling down on John Collins, about us saying, Josh Smith, you can play the small forward. I could go down the list. It would just be nasty. So
what pick did the Spurs got? The
4 and 8?
Yeah, 4 and 8 or something like that. And they also have Atlanta's pick next year. Let that be clear. What I would want them to do is draft Sarr. Like I said, I did all the things that needed to be said about him. You know, he has some offensive upside that we haven't even talked about. You know, I'm not necessarily one of the upside guys, but the league is shifting. And Damo was right when he said that there's going to be some like longer guys that have different abilities and stuff like that. The league is shifting. You want to be able to get in on the early ground before teams catch up, and then you're trying to decipher who's the best of the best out of them. But Chet, Wemby, Sarr, you get in on the early ground. It'll take some years for teams to catch up to that, and you can exploit that. Draymond was a little bit right. The East is fairly weak, dog. It doesn't take much to penetrate that, but just a little bit of time, a little bit of just analysis, and just saying, everybody just slow down and we can make some good decisions. Will the Atlanta Hawks do that? Probably not.
I guess my biggest question is just, what do they do with Trae moving forward? Do they try to build a new culture there around Alex Sarr, or do they say, yo, it is a perfect fit with Trae Young? Trae Young is still, 26, 25? So, you know, there's still like a lot of good basketball that those two could play, and they fit together. Those are my two biggest questions. But yeah, it would have to be a god offer for me to trade that number 1 pick. Take Alex Sarr, Doug. Take Alex Sarr.
Yeah, for me at least, and I don't even know ball outside of 2 fucking highlight tapes. But even if Alexander Sarr was that great to where, he's a no-brainer take, again, you still have so many infinite options. I'm probably, if I have to give out what I would personally do, I'm running a test dummy here. DeJounte Murray's probably still gone. Clint Capella really has no reason to be there. So for sure, they're gone. Without a shadow of a doubt, if they do the run it back thing, that's the biggest mistake they can make. Definitely revamp the roster, even if it's not a title contending roster in year 1. That's perfectly fine. Rookie Alexander Sarr holding a Finals MVP would be kind of crazy, gang. So don't have fear in fucking up just a little bit. But I want to see what Trae Young, Alexander Sarr, and an actual defensive Hawks team would look like despite Trae Young's weaknesses. If that's impossible, hell, maybe if you go another year. But if that's looking impossible, I ain't gonna lie, Trae. It's been fun, but I think that's goofy. I think ultimately what the Hawks really should do is gather as many assets as possible for DeJounte and Clint, despite whatever holes on the roster, even though I think that would put them in a great free agency position unless I'm tripping. And at that point in time, they could rebuild from there. I don't want to see the full-blown nuke that I talked about earlier, where you trade Trae, you trade Murray, you trade Clint. However, you can do it. But the last thing I want is the same Hawks team plus Alexander Sarr. That'd be the mistake.
The Hawks have not had a defense to rank higher than 21st since 2016, 2017.
That was a good team for y'all. Do y'all think, would you even entertain, and I understand I'm just spitballing here, so maybe this is a bad idea, keeping DeJounte, trading Trey, and having DeJounte as the one?
Nah.
Because I feel like defensively, I don't think DJ is a defensive anchor like that, but defensively, DeJounte at the one I still think is good. I still think he's good enough to be a lead guard for the Atlanta Hawks. And the age difference is only 2 years, like 25 to 27.
It doesn't take you anywhere long term nor immediate. You would have to basically overlap Murray by such a, like, I guess to put counting numbers to it, he'd have to easily be the third, if not fourth best player on the team. Sarr, you would have to know, is essentially Wemby Chet the third. It'd be so much to try to make that trade work rather than to just take your L. Hey, you only gain one pick after giving up 3 or whatever. Just take your L, get him out of there. It's not necessarily his fault. He'll probably blossom somewhere else. He's just not going to work with y'all, and that's fine because there's no way you risk that for punting on Trae Young, in my opinion.
Peak Trae Young on the offensive end, if you're not looking at efficiency, does some things extremely well that are very, very unique. I had to have a conversation about how he is generational in the Twitter space because the passing ability, the ability to make the average big man look like, one of the best role men in the league. And I'm not even talking about Clint Capella. I'm talking about what's my man's name? Alex Lynn.
Oh yeah.
Making those guys look good. Still the ability to read the floor. And with a weapon like Sarr, somebody like that, I just think you definitely see it. We're having the conversation, and I'm not saying Sarr is Wemby, and I'm not saying Wemby is Sarr when I say this, but we're having the conversation now about if Wemby gets a point guard. This is an opportunity
to reverse it effectively
and get a guy that has a point guard is going into a team with a point guard that we know has the ability to be an all-NBA, all-star caliber player from the point guard position, the literal position that they need in order to get a guy like this the ball. I think you just, from here, decipher which wing. I know a lot of people want Jalen Johnson. That's perfectly fine. Hey, Jalen Johnson, we're gonna triple down on you, and then figure everything out. And nothing else is safe. I'll say that nothing else is safe. Don't rush no timelines. If Sarr needs a year or two to figure it out, Trey, you need a year or two to figure it out. We'll double down on defense in a couple years. With Trey giving max effort, Jalen Johnson developing, all these things like that. But just please, for the love of God, don't think that this is the time to move to get Brandon Ingram. Don't think that this is the time to make a play at Paul George. Because I'm seeing that on the timeline, and I'm like, man,
you think they're gonna do that? Trade the number one for those, or that's in the
not necessarily trade the number one, trade everything else to get a Paul George, trade everything else to get a Brandon Ingram. No, why? Let's figure.
That doesn't do anything. Build the right way.
My fault. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying at this point, just build the right way, dog. Like we're seeing with the top teams, the teams that are going deep, continuity is a really big thing. And for you to restart that continuity with a 27-year-old Brandon Ingram, you're waiting for that continuity to hit when Brandon Ingram's 30, 31. Like, nah, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, I get if this is still a hot take at this point, but I do not want a big three in Atlanta, dog. I really don't. I promise you, I don't. I don't think any Atlanta fan alive, outside of ones that are looking forward to playing with the Hawks in 2K, want that to happen. There is no reason. We were talking about it during the play-in, I think. Even we were talking about Bogdanovich on like a serious team would actually be kind of fire. He'd actually be kind of gas. There's no reason I'm going like, oh yeah, let's trade Jalen Johnson, Murray, and Bogdanovich for like Paul George. No, I don't want to see any of that shit. For the love of God, make a good team. I'm not saying that those three names I mentioned are untouchable. I don't think anybody on this team's untouchable. But please, my Lord, make a good team, bro.
Yeah, just take your time. I might invest in season tickets. We'll see. Maybe not. Probably.
I'm gonna say this ain't the time to do it yet, man. Wait until they take like Zach Edey or something.
Say I won't even. Yeah, I won't even invest in anything Hawks related. I still haven't to be a fan of the team. So my hopes are not up. We passed on Luka already. Like I've seen it too many times. They'd have to do a tremendous deed to get me back. Speaking of,
my fault. Last question. Any other player outside of SAR you triggered? Like, is there any other player you can see? Because I don't know college shit. Any other player?
Isn't everyone else either a wing or a guard? So
yeah, everything else is wingy. And wingy goes up to 6'10" now, so that's cool. There's just a lot of question marks, and that's my thing about draft analysis now. I need to see more tape on a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys don't have too much tape, too much meaningful tape. They all do like quote unquote similar things, but to me, that's not what you're going to be in the NBA. So like, and I know somebody's going to cook me. Just relax. Cody Williams, which is J-Dub's brother. Matisse Buzele, which is an overseas guy.
Drama loves that guy.
Have you ever seen Cooper Flagg work out with another white guy? That's him. Ron Holland. I'm trying to think. Oh, there's another French guy. I don't want to butcher his name.
Who's the Austin Reeves looking dude from Kentucky? He just reminds me of Austin Reeves.
No, not Reese Shepard. We're not worried about him. But there's another French guy. I think he's French, but he's overseas for sure. But they're all in that 6'8", 6'10" range, or whatever the case may be. And what was I finna say? But they all do like similar things. I wouldn't Zache Rasher. I wouldn't be satisfied if they picked any of these guys. If we try again on another wing, I'm not going for it. Stop.
I hear that.
Shoot
for the stars. Shoot for the stars.
We see a good defensive talent here. Not good, great. Like this is a great defensive talent. Let's go defense. Simple. Mind you, that's something the Hawks and the Falcons don't do. All right, we just got the same rap, ain't it?
Hey! As a DC native, I'm just lucky I don't claim them as my number ones, but they my number twos, man. The Wizards in the same boat, but worse. But just don't fuck up, man, please.
I'm not gonna lie, the number one pick actually gave y'all an avenue, for me at least, to make Trae Young work. Because I remember when we were having these conversations a couple months ago, if Trae Young's about to be y'all number one, I'm done with it. But I feel like y'all have put yourself in a position to, honestly, a couple years down the line, put Trae Young as a number two to Alex Sarr, depending on how he develops. And I think Trae Young is a number two. That's viable for a championship team.
Yeah, so. Y'all want it Trae and Wemby. I mean, this is literally the closest people. Well, and I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but this is literally the closest people will get to Trae and Wemby. So
aside from Trae and Wemby,
aside from Trae and Wemby.
4-8 for Trae.
Draft. Stop. Speaking of other draft, NC Sage, that's that shit that's gonna piss me off.
I know somebody gonna say it.
Why not?
Nah, stop. Okay, stop. I'm
you don't like that? Full reset.
Stop. Please stop. Please stop talking. Because I promise you, I'll break some shit up. I'll fuck this whole room up. I swear to God. I've honestly been up. It doesn't matter. Speaking of other
crash.
It's gonna be a different type of crash out. So be in jail. Speaking of other draft things going on, our guy, friend of the show, Bronny James, has decided to go through with it. Now, there has been some very questionable things to come out about Bronny James. It is listed that Bronny James is actually 6'1.5" with no shoes.
But he's 6'4" with shoes. I don't care what you are with shoes.
Bezos, I don't think you go from 6'1.5".
I gotta. Yeah, I'm looking at my breads right now.
Yeah.
Nah, gang. You telling me I'm 6 feet out here?
No. But he's 6'1.5", so 6'3.5". That's pretty much 6'4".
He is not. Let me tell you something right now. He is not playing in Air Force Ones.
You don't need Air Force Ones to have 2-inch heels, essentially.
2.5.
It's like
2. He's 6'3.5". It's when you're 5'8.5" and you call yourself 5'9" type shit.
You literally making it sound like Bronny taller than us in heels right now, man. I ain't gonna lie. This is crazy, man.
Now, this also makes me question, what is Bryce? Because they said Bryce was 6'6", and
6'3.5".
He might be 6'4". He might be the one that's 6'4". 210 67, 6'7" and a quarter wingspan. I do got some footage of him. This is him at the combine. He goes 19 for 25. Apparently they're doing a shooting drill and he comes second in that. And then also this is him with his vertical.
James jeans. Yeah.
Hey. Especially because this is I'm assuming gonna affect Sage's team the most.
Oh, please no.
Is this a mistake? Is this a mistake to go through this?
What for Bronny to want to get himself drafted?
To stay in the
I mean, unless our whole take is he could be exponentially better staying in college, and then that just creates a conversation of is it better to do your years in college or go out. But outside of that, nah, ain't no mistake. You always have time to develop even in the league. Now, in terms of getting that opportunity off rip, yeah, you definitely take your chance in college. You're always going to get opportunity off of, no disrespect to him, but literally off name alone, you're going to get opportunity in college that you may not get in the NBA, because if you ain't like that, hey, that's fine and all, gang. You sitting down. But in terms of in general, though, nah, ain't no mistake. Young player want to get drafted. Everybody want to get drafted.
Yeah, I don't blame LeBron for giving him this opportunity if he wants it. Because on some nepotism shit, I guess I'm pro nepotism. We've had those conversations before. But in terms of like what's best for Bronny, though, I don't know. I would have liked to see him just spend a couple more years in USC and really establish his game. Because from my understanding, he's a really raw talent. So to just be more refined going into the league, for teams to know what they're getting and for you to know what type of player you are gonna be in the pros as well, I think that's big for Bronny. But him rushing himself, in my opinion, that doesn't really do him any justice. But even for him personally, I don't know. I just feel like for the next 2 years, being the man on campus at USC is more fun than being a role player for, I don't know, whichever team drafts him. But
I'm ready for him to do interviews. I'm ready for somebody to press that B star and just straight up ask him, is this something that you want to do, or is this something to fulfill Pops' fantasy?
Yeah.
And, I know he has some media trained prepped ass answer. I just know he does. But I want to know what it is. That's the only thing I have to say. If you feel like this is the right decision for you, if you feel like you were wasting your time in college, Gilbert Arenas for sure thinks he does. It's hard to gauge these guys in college anyway, so it is what it is. I'm super confused about the move, but what do I know? I just do a podcast. All right, let's get into the games from this weekend. It's specifically the Denver Nuggets. They came back to tie it up after some stinker minkers, where honestly they seem to be just outclassed left, right, and sideways. The Timberwolves were getting it done without Rudy Gobert. They turn it around. Game 3. What is this? Game 3. Nikola Jokic has a 24, 14, 9, 3 steal, 3 block game where he shot
56 stocks is crazy.
Went crazy. Everyone on the Timberwolves, though, they had a pretty stinky game. Nobody scored over 20 points in the starting lineup, just crazy. And then the game to follow that up, my God, Aaron Gordon also joined Nikola Jokic. Game 4, Jokic has 35, 3, 7, and 7 on 58, and Aaron Gordon had 27, 6 and 7, and he shot 92% from the field. Did we count this team out too early? Did we make that mistake there?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I never counted this team out. I don't care what I've said on the internet. Y'all know how I feel about this Denver Nuggets team. I hate them for a reason. They're too damn good. Can't stand them. Mike Malone's yet again showing that it's like as a cocky bastard he is. He's a damn good coach for having this team not only go on the road and win back-to-back games, but essentially get the feel that this team is live. especially when you factor in how bad Jamal Murray was playing up to this point. And even though he's not necessarily taking the reins back, he was fucking hooping in the first half of, I believe, game 4. But overall, the Aaron Gordon game happened, so I'm not surprised they won that game. Jokic was only going to be for so long. I think the Timberwolves aren't cooked yet either. I think this series was predicted to go to 6-7 for a reason, and we're seeing why it was predicted to go to 6-7. Last and certainly not least, I know statistically Anthony Edwards was efficient in game 4, ladies and gentlemen, or game 3, ladies and gentlemen, but I don't care. I need all shots, good shots, baby. Keep shooting. I don't like 15 shots out of you, my boy. Really ain't like the 17 from earlier, but you busting their ass by like 30 that game. So what am I going to do? But yeah, I just think the Timberwolves need to get back to that level of aggression. I don't know, maybe if they have underdog syndrome, but I think they just need to be able to like not put them in jail because they're going to make their shots inevitably. But I think they lost a little bit of that intensity. And I think they just need to gather that back. It's a good series regardless. I just hate the Denver Nuggets because they're too damn good. I seen Jamal Murray make a half-court shot. Pissed me off.
Predictions based off of what you've seen, Sage, before B-Souls go.
You said what?
Predictions based off of what you've seen? You changing your predictions?
Oh, no. I'm still always going to root against them, but I just think I'm cursed. Ant and 7, but I think I'm cursed at this point because Luka, I know he's doing against the Thunder, but if Luka goes out, Ant goes out, and the Lakers goes out, yeah, I'm cursed, bro.
I think for me, it was just the ultimate. God damn, we haven't scored in 4 minutes. The ultimate regression of mean that I've seen in the playoffs so far. Like in the first 2 games, we're seeing the Minnesota Timberwolves play out of character offensively in the best way possible, and then for the Nuggets, they were playing out of character for the worst way possible offensively. But we all know Minnesota isn't that good offensively, and Denver isn't that bad offensively. So once we get a more like leveled out playing field, this is what it's gonna look like. This is what it's gonna look like. Yeah, I don't think I ever counted them out, but I think I did favor Minnesota after game 2 because just going back home down 0-2 with the Timberwolves having that momentum was crazy. But now that we're here, it's tied 2-2. Denver's just too proven, dog. I can't lie.
Yeah,
Denver's just too proven.
And they thought they had, the right answer, from my understanding, because I didn't get to watch last game, but they changed it up where Jokic was just bringing the ball up the court, changing everything up, making Gobert have different looks, Nasri get different looks, and then like you said, they're not offensively juiced enough to do that, so they can't. Hey, if you can't shoot with them and you can't defend them, sounds like you're about to lose a basketball game. That's my Reggie Miller-ism of this one. I got Denver still. I'm hoping not, 33.355 from Ant. He can do some magic, but it's looking like they just don't have enough offensive juice to get it done. Which, with that being said, yeah, Karl Anthony Towns.
Damn, my bad.
Cat, we need you to come to the floor. Cat, we need you to come to the floor. Where are you, pal?
Yeah, Cat last game, they did a good job. I mean, you brought up Jokic taking the ball up the court. Last game, they did a good job of like exposing what Cat still has to develop in terms of defense. But for the most part, I'm not going to jump on this tirade over a game. Cat's been good for this team defensively for the most part of the season, let alone this series. But
offensively.
Offensively, no, he was ass. I don't even know. I don't know what else to say. No, offensively, if Cat don't get the buckets, I think Ant has said that if Cat don't get no buckets, they chop. Their offense is already sus, but Ant dropping 30 and 40 bombs. If Ant has 27 and then Cat's having a stinker, they lost the game.
Yeah, I think even Ant himself has been really adamant in these playoffs that how Cat plays is how deep this team will go. Because Ant is gonna get his. Rudy Gobert is going to be consistently a lob threat and a good defender. Everyone else is going to do their job relatively consistently. But the one dude that's consistently inconsistent is Cat. But when Cat is playing like a number 2 that he should be, the number 2 that he should be, which is what, 20, 23, 10, and 4? Yeah, no, that's a championship level team. But when he's shit in the bed, you're asking a lot from a 22-year-old. You are asking a lot.
I want to quickly switch it over to the Eastern Conference because we have another battle before we get into the other conversation in this. On the Knicks side, the Pacers tied it up with some pretty remarkable games. I think if you were in the playback stream for Game 3, that was
I wasn't even there. That was crazy.
Insanely crazy game, down to the wire. That was Naismith, I think, that hit a crazy deep three to tie it up.
Insane.
Dante DiVincenzo had the game of his life, 35 points. What did he shoot? 46%.
It was Nembhard. My bad.
It was Nembhard. Jalen Brunson with 26. He shot kind of bad from the field, and then Josh Hart with 18 boards, but just couldn't beat him out. The Pacers, 35 from Tyrese. He did his thing. And then Game 4, and this is where it really gets interesting. Game 4, flatline. It was not even close. Beat the brakes off of him. Knicks got 106, but I promise you it wasn't like that. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's game.
Yeah, they only got 89 game.
That's Game 3. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Didn't even score 90 points in Game 4. Everybody just looked gassed.
I ain't gonna lie, I fell asleep.
Yeah, everybody.
I turned that shit off. Yeah.
Everybody looks gassed, and so Chandler Parsons said that he blames Tom Thibodeau for New York Knicks' injuries because OG is also now hurt. He says this is why that players poll came out with guys that don't want to play for Tom Thibodeau because it doesn't last. You can't sustain in such a long season. We know the injuries, but more so about the tiredness. Will the Knicks run out of gas? Do we see the Cinderella story in here?
For me, look, I hate to be the guy to agree with Chandler Parsons, but I mean, I just think that's just an objective truth of the situation. Not even just looking at the injuries thing, but as you brought up, just fatigue. I'm seeing these players every time out look like that one workout that fucked you up and you need like a good 5 minutes to chill. Josh Hart be crying for air. I think he still played all 48. Like, yo, that's not gonna win you a championship, unfortunately. But even if they get past the Pacers, then I have fear of them trying to do this shit against a team like Boston. But that's besides the point. In regards to just this series, I don't expect them to not fight with a little bit of urgency in Game 5. I think I honestly even have the Knicks winning Game 5, especially because it's at home. Pacers Knicks, though, to me, outside of Game 4, which is pretty much the anomaly of the series, this whole series has shown me that this is a make or miss league more than any series in the fucking postseason thus far. I mean, you could argue the Knicks should have been up 3-0. You could argue the Pacers should be up 3-1 right now, and neither take his ass. It's ridiculous. Good series. Series that I didn't expect to be this good, but I guess the injuries leveled out the playing field a bit more, and I guess that's going to be my slight jab at Pacers fans here. I feel bad for the Knicks, man. Outside, not OG, not that I don't feel bad for OG. OG's kind of like by design, but the Mitchell Robinson injury was kind of just sad to see.
Yeah, I think when it comes to the injury issues with the Knicks, you've been knowing this about Tibbs. And it's crazy to me that this is also the issue after everything that happened with D Rose. Now, I understand. I think the bigger problem there was the fact that he was in a game. Big three. He was in a game that was already a blowout. And then like D Rose's landing mechanics was a bigger problem. But still, the idea of playing 40 minutes for your starters. What the hell is going on? Playing your starters 40 minutes a game. That just can't be healthy, dog. That just can't be healthy. So can I don't know. Like, a part of it is also luck. A part of it is also bad luck, for the Knicks with all these injuries. But in terms of this series, Pacers, y'all better take advantage, dog. Y'all better take advantage of all these injuries. Y'all tied it up. Y'all defended home court. Hey, man. I got a shot to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I do owe an apology to the Pascal Siakam trade. When we were talking about it, I personally said that it's a good trade, but it doesn't move the needle for them. But for them to have a shot to be in the Eastern Conference Finals year one, that's big time. That's big time for the Pacers. So
I think that, people only have but so much gas. And a healthy Knicks team looks differently. I know he's known as a playoff dropper, but I would love to see this team with Julius Randle to take some of the burden off. Brunson and the way that Brunson plays too, he's getting into that pick and roll to get to those two elbow areas to try to bludgeon the other point guard because he's bigger. But after a while, that can only go so far. He plays a very physical game. They all play a very physical. Josh Hart plays a very physical game. I know he sneaks in for some rebounds, but he plays down low. They all play a very physical game. So it's not just the fact that they're running. It's also just the fact that they're banging down there. What Charles Barkley say? And he's banging. When a guy's banging on you and you spin off him, that's the worst type of guy. But I don't know how much more they can just do that. And then, like Sage said, even now the Celtics do have a slower pace, but even if they go to the next round, there's no mismatches. There's more size.
The game on the line?
You can't just bang like that. Like, you literally can't just bang like that. So I do have the Pacers coming out. I don't want to say that, but it is what it is. I do want to ask though, do we have our American stars? Are we seeing them on display right now with Brunson and Anthony Edwards on the other side? And I ask that because Charles Barkley doesn't think so.
Who people been? And please, America, please stop the Michael Jordan stuff. This guy's had one good playoff run. He's a great. I think he's going to be a great player. He's a really nice kid. We root for him. We want him to be.
Is he close?
No, hell no. Close to who? Close to who? They both black.
You're not close to Mike?
He's not close to Michael Jordan.
At 23?
Michael Jordan was getting. Remember, he was scoring like.
I'm just asking. At 23,
Hey,
23
I
Mike at
love
23.
Anthony Edwards.
I'm just
do
asking.
not do that.
You know
He's
what?
nice.
Honestly, and this is not disrespectful.
He's nice.
I'm not disrespectful.
He is very nice.
But his
He's
body
close.
type and the way he plays, to me, reminds me more of D Wade, young D Wade, when he was carrying that team, when he had Lamar Odom and he was going through the playoffs for the first time. It reminds me of that.
All I
more
want
than
to
it
say is,
reminds me of
man,
Jordan.
why can't we just let people do their thing and watch them? Why do we have to say, well, he's like, I'm not on you, I'm talking about like,
You know
he's
why?
the next Michael Jordan.
No, because you know why? Because y'all paved the way for us. That's why.
Who people been, and please.
That be glazing. Even if you don't think that he is the next Michael Jordan, do we have the thing that we've been saying that we've been wanting for a long time, and that is American-made stars?
Anthony Edwards, I would say sure. A lot of everyone else, not gonna lie, I'm gonna sound like a hater. No,
You don't
the reason
think
being,
Jalen Brunson?
Jalen Brunson is knocking on the door, but the reason with JB is because I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna seem like a hater. Y'all gonna get your shit off. That's fine. Dog, there ain't nothing. Some telling me, yo, if that Bucks team, that Sixers team, all 100% ready to go. So something telling me, hey, I want to say yes for sure. What the fuck? Weird JB hate? I'm not doing that. Hell, but the last episode, I talked about how Jalen Brunson's low-key kind of proving a point, and to a lesser degree, Anthony Edwards, because y'all whole thing is 6'4", but to a lesser degree, proving that small guards can win. I don't dislike JB, but when we're talking about in contrast to the European player and saying, are the Americans finally getting a W? Dog, I'm sorry, man. We talking Vixen up. we're talking Vixen up, and JB again knocking on the door, but I won't be able to stamp that. Tyrese Halliburton, we're literally, if you think JB's a beneficiary of injuries or anything like that, my lord, Tyrese Halliburton, they shout out to you, gang, but the Knicks ain't even healthy. So there's that. It's tough. Y'all know me. I'm pushing Ja propaganda, but I'm like dead ass on it. Ja's probably in that situation as well, considering what he was doing with the Warriors. It's just a matter of like every time something goes wrong, right? But and even then, I think John JB are relatives, so it's not even nothing crazy. It's just when we talking about finally Americans are back in the lead, or finally American stars that can genuinely fuck with the European stars. I don't think we're seeing too much of that yet. The reason why I see with Anthony Edwards is because he's on a team that like literally 1-to-1 matches up well with the Nuggets and the Mavericks.
I think we're not wanting to accept the ones that are being given to us.
Maybe.
I think, and this is my hierarchy. I know people are gonna probably disagree. And top American star as it's seen right now, just because of a lot of different factors. And honestly, I would probably, and this is all things healthy, all things considered, probably 1A, 1B, him and Ja Morant.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think it's definitely them too. I know.
Number two, is Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is not the one y'all wanted. He is the one
you got.
And he is the one that is delivering for a lot of people. Then we can get into the Tatums of the world or whatever the case may be. But I believe that those guys, because I think what Jalen Brunson doing through the power of friendship on the biggest stage in pretty much damn near all of sports, like that's what people have been asking for. He is delivering. He is literally what like David Stern wrote up a script. Short guy, 6'3", in New York in the Mecca, balling his life out. Just it looks like heart. It's really gritty. It's not the sexy ball like this new stuff is, but it's really going down. I think that's so relatable. His dad is there. His dad is somebody that's NBA family. You're seeing the hard work because they keep showing the playground videos. He is the American talent that we've all wanted. We just have to accept it.
He's one of the tops, but I think when we're talking about face of the leagues, we're talking Kobe, Jordan, LeBron. You want to see Jalen Brunson in there? There's a polar bear in Arlington, Texas. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dog. Like, look at the names. I don't want to sound like I'm hating, but bro, there's a lot of names we're bringing up right now, and JB's really good. JB's really good. But in terms of the few, I think Ant definitely is number one. Hell, there may even be some names that, hey, we're just having this conversation a little bit too soon. Y'all gonna hate me for this. Number 0 wins a chip this year. They're gonna push the fuck out of him, whether you like it or not. If he wins one this year, they're gonna push the fuck out of him. John Morant's in that conversation as well. Zion was supposed to be in that conversation, but injuries. And then I think it stops there. The face of the league conversation, it stops there.
Oh, we're talking. Okay, so yeah, overall face of the league. Yeah, I can see. Like if the Knicks get it done, obviously Jalen Brunson would be like fucking New York's hero for the next 5 decades. So fucking facing New York at that point. Yeah, Anthony Edwards probably is going to be the American guy unless John Morant comes back and there's still a parade in the city, which I am very much trying to tell you, Nate. You just have amnesia. You just got hurt. But
let me just say this, going back to the Tatum thing, because y'all saw how annoying the media was this year pushing Tatum and putting him in conversations that we all agree in here he probably didn't deserve to be in. That's why I'm saying if he wins a championship, the conversations are about to get nasty. He's about to be put in conversations that talent-wise he probably shouldn't be, but because of the fact that 6'10" dude leading one of the marquee franchises in the league to a championship and is American who went to Duke, I'm telling you, the push is going to be nasty, and I am going to be pushing it as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm saying what I'm saying about Jalen Brunson though is because I'm seeing what Patrick Ewing did. I think Patrick Ewing has 2 finals appearances. One is like a non-factor because that last one in 99 or whatever really doesn't count. So he has the one where they faced the Rockets. Or was that 2 when he faced the Rockets? No, it was 1 because the Rockets beat Shaq and them. So the one where he faced the Rockets, and just a plethora of like semifinals appearances and, maybe like a couple conference finals appearances. But ultimately, if you're in a city like New York, you don't need to get it done the way that other people need to get it done. So the bar is just a little bit lower. I think he may be able to just, bang it out. Hey, I'm a face of the league because the bar is so low because I play in New York.
Yeah, that's my thing. Nah. I don't know about face of the league. Yeah, I don't know about face of the league.
Face of the league, come on.
Now,
bro.
he could be the face of the American players. Like, if the Knicks make the finals, yeah, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but I think it's going to come down to Ant and JB.
I'm sorry. Do you know how many conference finals appearances Patrick Ewing has?
No, I'm done with the 90s.
3?
He has the 2 finals appearances, the Spurs, the Rockets, and then he has 1 in 92-93. But the way and he has 1 conference finals appearance. The way that we talk about Patrick Ewing,
Who talks about Patrick Ewing? Jalen Brunson's the best Knick of all time.
Well, then that may be true.
I'm about to say Jalen Brunson's best nigga.
But wasn't Patrick Ewing one of those dudes that like going into the draft he was hyped as fuck, but then when we realized there was levels to him and Michael Jordan, like him being in the conversation was null and void?
I mean, yeah.
It's kind of like Zion, to be honest with you.
Okay. I'm going to let them cook you in the comments for that one.
It's cool, bro. It's cool. JB could be a great guy, just not facing
You got Zion.
talent.
Wait, you
It's
got
cool,
Zion
bro.
over Brunson?
Me?
Yeah, you.
No. Okay. The injury concerns are too big for Zion. So.
I want to go into specifically because we're talking about big men and we got a limited amount of time here. Talk about some big men beef, specifically Shannon and the Big Diesel. So there's a clip when Shannon Sharp found out about what Shaq said about Jokic. Y'all remember when Shaq told Jokic to his face about the MVP? Shannon basically said, "Yo, it was weird the way that you did about it, the way that you went about it. Talking about who should win MVP or telling Jokic to his face that he shouldn't win the MVP. He felt like it was SGA, blah blah blah. That was, you shouldn't have did that. That was wrong. That was embarrassing." Shaq responded, and Shaq said on a comment, "You took me sticking up for Shea as jealousy of Joker. Shows how smart you are and how you say anything to get clicks. So here's some clickbait for you. If you ain't ranked in the top 10 in your profession, then you can't speak on me."
Huh?
What?
Let's
talk about it.
What's Shannon Sharp?
Don't forget, I know what you did to get where you at. Me jealous sounds like you jealous. I know you're trying to stay relevant by gossiping on your podcast. We don't believe you. You need more people, and in case you forgot, 4 rings, 3 finals MVPs, top 50, top 75. Google me. And to be quite frank, all this new success you got, you still under me. Oh, is that true? Well, you don't know my work ethic, but I work less than you, but I'm worth more than you. Oh my God. Make it make sense. Damn. Love you too. If you need help making money, it's better ways than gossiping. I'm too old for this shit. Love always, the most dominant big man ever who never took it serious. Remember, I don't know you. And in the words of Skip Bayless, I'm better than you. G14 classification. I have it, you don't. Not in my profession. And your GOAT debate. Never wanted to be the GOAT. I wanted to be who you should greet me as, the most dominant ever. Hashtag the Apex Predator.
I mean, I know that this isn't the end of the story. I tried to put my opinion on what I thought Shaq originally said on the side just to judge beef for beef. But man, there's some parts of that I ain't like at all. And then some parts, all right, Shaq, cook up. Continue the story, man. Oh, I thought you. That's it. Oh, that's it. That's the only part.
Yeah, yeah. That's the caption, and then there was also a rap song.
Yeah, I'm about to say I knew of the song.
You know Shannon Classback. First of all,
that's why I was like, continue.
Just a quick little side. Where did he say if you ain't ranked in the top 10 in your profession?
You want me to talk about that now? Oh well, okay. If you want,
saying just a quick one because I know Sage and me are more football. Top 10 in his profession. That's true, right? Shannon's not.
He's not top 10 all time, like all time. But that's like a dick move. It's a different sport for obvious reasons. Yeah, he's not a quarterback. He's not a defender, so it's going to be hard for him to be top 10. A lot of people are pretty wonky on Jerry Rice being the sole top 10 skill position on offense. And so a lot of people argue he's probably not. And we're just being nice. But top 10 tight end, nigga, he's a top 5 tight end. Shit, on a good day, you could maybe do 3. Like, he's fantastic. I don't know what the fuck we're doing there.
Well, then the next part is in the current media space, sports media, who is more relevant?
Let me just go back on the last part. Isn't Shaq one of the dudes that's like, yo, don't talk about the GOAT list. Just compare me to big men, because that's my lane.
That's kind of pretty ironic too, because on most people's list he'd be second or third on the center shit, and then with Shannon Sharp, if it wasn't for Travis Kelce, he'd be second or third on. Anyway, for me, Who's more relevant to basketball? Is Shaq more relevant to basketball?
Sports?
Oh,
Shannon.
Damn.
What?
Yeah.
Maybe that was Dick
Sports,
the way I said
sports
it.
overall, you probably gotta go. Yeah, you probably gotta go Shannon. And it's because Shaq doesn't talk football, let alone hasn't played football. At least Shannon has tried to like accommodate love for the game of basketball, but Shaq kind of just sticks in his NBA lane with the
when you combine the football and the basketball, it's Shannon. But also Club Shay Shay is not a basketball show. It's not a sports show.
Yeah.
And he's dominating that field too. He got the interview of the fucking year. With
Interview of all time.
Yeah.
That's the most viewed video ever. I mean, interview ever.
Yeah, so in terms of the media game, I ain't gonna lie, Shaq, you can't talk to Shannon about that shit. IG is his game, if anything. So
now I will be fair to make sure this isn't just a Unc Glaze situation or anti-Shaq situation. We don't have a full story yet, or I don't have a full story yet. But in the case of who's more relevant to their sport, I say Shaq probably got it. But that's because basketball.
Basketball is just basketball is just so much more different. But again, there's some things that even in this short amount of time that Shannon has done that Shaq can't do without the rest of the four. Because Shaq does have some independent media stuff. It's just not on the level. Let's listen to Shannon Sharp give a little bit of response over here on Nightcap.
Ocho, everyone's family. Okay, Shaq, about the comments that I said last night. Shaq said, you took me sticking up for Shay as jealousy of Joker shows how smart you are and how you say anything to get clicked. That's not what I did, but anyway. So here's the clickbait for you. If I ain't ranked in the top 10 of your profession, then you can't speak. Don't forget, I know what you did to get where you're at. Me jealous sounds like you jealous. That's crazy.
That was the other one.
Yeah, I forgot he said that. That was crazy.
We don't have to bog it down. We got to stop with that on Shannon Sharp. They done tried to make him gay 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And I know somebody in the comments is going to be like, well, Shaq didn't say he was gay. Dog, I'm not stupid. We know what they're insinuating there. We got
I didn't even hear it.
Nah, that John, that's crazy as fuck.
By
It's either the gay or raccoon route.
Yeah. Well, yeah, either way, we got to stop.
Yes, we don't believe you. You need more people in case you forgot 4 rings, 3 finals MVPs, top 50, top 75. And to be quite frank, all this success you got still under me. You don't know my work ethic, but 10 minutes ago. About 10 minutes ago.
Wait, Shaq in the chat?
No, he on IG. I've never professed. I've never professed that I was as great as Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
But what I will say,
yes, sir.
I got what I got because I worked my ass off. Now,
Yes,
Shaq has been the one to say it. That he didn't work as hard, he didn't train as hard, he didn't eat as well as he should have.
Right.
Shaq is the one that anytime someone wins an MVP, he talks about how he should have been the MVP over Steve Nash. Now, you guys have heard me speak glowingly. I say Travis Kelce's better tight end than I was. So was Gronk. So was my guy
Tony G.
Name for the Chargers. Antonio Gates, Gonzo, Big Winslow. I'm cool. I got no problem. You know why I got no problem, Ocho, with giving people credit?
Right.
Because I got everything out of my God-given ability. God gave me the ability to do what I could do. But he gave me discipline. He gave me dedication, the way I trained, the way I ate, the way I slept. So this was all I could get.
Right.
Now, I would have felt some type of way if I'd have got these numbers and I half-assed it. But I never half-assed it. Kobe said Shaq should have won, and they should have won.
Right.
But my thing is that you can't, and it said greatest characters. It's Shaq, I'm the greatest character. No, am I a top 100 player? No. Am I the equivalent as a football player as Shaq was as a basketball player? No. But what I did do is that I maximized that. And my question, if Shaq, and because it's rough on the back, my question is, do you believe that you gave everything you possibly could in basketball? Did you train the way you should have? Did you eat the way you should have? That just goes to show you how great you was. That you didn't, you allowed your weight to get out of control. The injuries started to creep up, and you got 4 rings, and you got 3 finals MVP.
He basically just called him fat in a nice way.
Yeah, I'm about to say, he basically said you're a fat, lazy slob, but you're good at basketball, so you talk shit. And it's kind of like, yeah, what are you gonna do about it? Type of situation. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it wasn't exactly the clapback that you would think you get, but yeah, it's not inaccurate.
But in true Shaq fashion,
when it comes to Shaq hates every big man. If you haven't noticed, yeah, he does.
I thought this was a meme at first.
Rightfully so, because that's his position. He is, in his mind, he is the
I cut it off after.
No matter what no one says, we don't care. He don't care what you say. He don't care. You can go on the championships and all that. If we lace him up, and we had to, in our prime, had to play against each other in our prime, he thinks he's the apex predator. Those awards hurt him. They irritate the hell out of him.
Yes, it's the MVPs, Gil. It's the MVPs because we only have one.
They didn't think that I would win, but I won.
You think you can say something about the D's, you ain't gonna say something back?
I got in.
You gotta have
G14
classification.
I'm the best in the world.
I'm number one.
I'm the best in the world.
I'm number one.
I'm the best in the world. Number.
Oh no, Shannon Sharp, man, you're way beneath me. Your whole demeanor is faker than new rapper Beefy.
It's Icky Rose, bro.
Before you get fly, you rather tweet me. I was in 3 different cars when you was in 3 feet. All I see is dollar signs. They come in 3D. Make it hot. Ain't no way around my degree. You are not at my spot. You are like a peewee. Look out, I'm calling me Rocky the way I read. I get to
Rick Dolph over here. What the fuck?
They call me Rocky the way I read.
Yeah, that was a pain, and there's no disrespect to RIP. That was just like Rick Ross's voice trying to imitate a key Glock flow. That was awful. Ooh. No, but I mean, he's not a rapper. I'm not gonna do all that. It's funny that he make a song. Fuck it. You make it.
Why you only got a problem with Shannon do it? Because that talking point is not something exclusive to Shannon. So I'm gonna keep it a stack. If there's someone sounding jealous in all of this, it's Shaq to me.
Oh, shocker of the year. Shaquille O'Neal is jealous. Oh, well. No, I'm not going to lie. And that wasn't even me coming at you. It's just not shocking at all. For this situation, if this were a rap beef, technically Shaq won the beef. Shannon didn't really say anything outside of just, bro, you tripping. Like the whole time, Shannon's basically telling him he's tripping. But also, I just, for me personally, because I watch both, I just think it's a very dishonest conversation for the NBA casual or NFL casuals out there. Very dishonest conversation where we're talking about, oh, are you as big to your game as whatever? Dog, he played a position where he really never could have been. Like even Travis Kelce, who's seen, if not Gronk, who's seen as the number one, neither of those two are going to be in most people's top 10 or even 20 because it's just by nature of the game. It's just unfair, let alone is there more players, just infinitely more players in the NFL, especially in the all-time conversation. Just very dishonest thing, but that's just what Shaq gonna say to him, Shaq.
And when people say stuff like that, it just don't hit. It literally, it just really doesn't hit at all when somebody more knowledgeable can get through it. And I guess Shaq is a troll or, whatever the case may be. That shit lame. You recognize that somebody else is doing better than you in this media sphere. I think Shaq thought he could have been or should have been Shannon Sharp because of who he was at the time in the industry, but that just didn't pan out. Like, that just hasn't panned out. Your podcast is not to the level of Nightcap. Your podcast is not to the level of, Club Shay Shay. Your podcast isn't even the biggest podcast in basketball. Hell, it's not even one of the biggest podcasts in basketball. Now, inside the NBA is one bigger, but nobody's even striving to be bigger on inside the NBA.
Oh, I figured it out. It's a rollout, ladies and gentlemen. It's always a rollout. TNT is about to die. Or not about to die, but inside the NBA is about to be cut off. Shaq needs to pivot. And he's starting to with the SGA dick suck comments from a couple of days ago to this. Yeah, man, he's loading up that podcast. He's really about to dive into the Shaq podcast that we all know exists but don't watch. Okay, you're gonna be forced to watch it very soon.
Rollout is so crazy.
It's a rollout. Everything a rollout these days, man. I ain't gonna lie. Everything rage bait.
Yeah, I hear it. Last thing, I promise it's not me tweaking. I just seen someone tag why is tight end get a disadvantage. Like not even a minute explanation. There's a quarterback, there's people that attack the quarterback, and there's people that guard the people that the quarterback throws to. Shannon is literally at peak the third, and then not to mention other half of his impact would be blocking. So there's no way that a tight end would be in that conversation. You would have to be that goddamn good to the point where only really one, if not two wide receivers are in the conversation to be in the top 10 all time, because that's how much the defense and the quarterback matter in comparison.
Yeah, tight ends just started catching balls. Like,
it's.
I remember back in the day, Algie Crumpler was our tight end. I think I might have caught 12 passes a year game. He was
also Shannon mad humble. I give him over AG. I give him like 4. I give him.
Last thing, quick. Let's take 10 minutes on it so we can get the hell on up out of here.
God's their assistant coach. Damn.
Yeah, that's Luca's buddy. So we could get out of here. They fired Frank Vogel.
Nah, this is stupid. I gotta try to do a bit. Nah, this is stupid. If you need me to shut up and pull up the news, that's fine. But spoilers, this is pretty fucking dumb. He was set up to fail even worse than in LA, in my personal opinion, because at least in LA we gave him a team, didn't win. I guess it's the coach's fault via rust drama and other shit. This situation, dog, this ain't even like a Frank Vogel roster at all. Like, there's a huge anomaly here. Y'all gonna blame him. That's corny as hell. They got the coach they wanted, so maybe that's why they let him go. That's the saving grace, I'll say. They wanted Mike.
Let me get to that page. Don't bury the lead now. So they fired Frank Vogel because of the comments that we saw from James Jones, the comments that we saw from Matt Yeshiba. They feel like things weren't being maximized, optimized, aka they needed a scapegoat. One of the more notable things from earlier this year was Frank Vogel yelled so much that his voice could be heard outside the locker room after the loss to the Clippers on April 9th. This is from Shams. Suns players weren't buying it, though. The outburst seemed forced and out of character in their eyes. Vogel's eruption left players rolling their eyes. One player even told The Atlantic that he had to keep from laughing. This just sounds like an unserious situation all around. But we knew that was going to happen. That's not necessarily the news from this. The news from this is who they decided to hire. They decided to hire the one, the only, my man, Mike Budenholzer.
Coach Bud.
Has agreed on the terms of a 5-year, $40+ million deal to become the new head coach of the Phoenix Suns. This is the 2-time NBA Coach of the Year, and he's an Arizona native. Just quick on some things. How do we feel about them hiring Coach Bud and the way they treated Fred Vogel? I don't know.
Just to continue my thought, because I prematurely spoke my bad editing team, but basically, I'll give the Suns a little bit of leeway there. I've always been a component of whether football, basketball, soccer, any sport, any genre, whatever. You see the guy you want, go get your guy. So if they think it's Coach Bud, cool. I think one thing's for certain, I better not hear no, it's Coach Bud's fault. After this shit, I ain't gonna lie. Even if it ends up being, you could have played a little better. Ultimately, dog, this is a 2-time Coach of the Year, a guy that I personally think the Bucks prematurely fired off of Twitter news and drop coverage takes that hit a little platinum. I think yeah, right. You know what I'm talking about, right? Okay. So I think ultimately the Suns need to vamp the roster that aids Budenholzer better, because it's a similar boat, but that's besides the point. I like the hire, I guess. It's just I don't think this was a necessary hire to be made. And I do think Frank Vogel is again scapegoated, unfortunately. I would say come back to LA, but they ain't doing that shit.
Yeah, I like the hire in a vacuum. I do think for the pieces that they got, Mike Budenholzer is a better fit. He is a relatively offensively minded coach. I understand he's coached great defenses in the past, but much more offensively minded than Frank Vogel. So in terms of that front, hey, if you're about to fire a coach, you better believe that anyone walking to that door is either just an upgrade or you actually have an upgrade. And I do think Mike Budenholzer, you can make a case that he is an upgrade. Mm-hmm. But that is in a vacuum. I still think this whole situation is just a marker of how much incompetency is in that front office. the fact that they scapegoated a coach who they didn't give the proper pieces to, and now they're essentially going on press conferences blaming the coach for not maximizing what they gave him, which honestly wasn't that much. It just showed me everything that I needed to see about the Suns organization. They feel entitled to winning. They feel entitled to championships. I feel like with after that KD trade, and especially after the Bradley Beal trade, and I think they are going to be better next year. But are they really going to address the issues that's going to make them championship winners, not just contenders? Because I do think they're trying to build championship winners. Absolutely not. They're not going to have continuity. They're not going to have all of these things that make for a championship roster. And we're going to have these same conversations next year, man. And Sage, I know you said you better not blame Mike Budenholzer. You will, because it's going to be his first year.
Yeah.
It's going to be his first year. No one ever gets it right their first year. Well, I won't say no one, because Nick Nurse, even an email has made the finals before. So there are examples, Ty Lue. But for the most part, yeah. Yeah, no, you're going to hear it.
I know I'm gonna hear that bullshit.
There's teams that I just don't care about anymore, and most of them feature the old guys. I am tired of just pacifying the old guys, what are now the old guys in the league. I am tired of just coddling them. I'm tired of not pointing the finger at them for their misfortunes. I am tired of the pussyfooting around about it. It wasn't the coach. Y'all not gonna find the coach. These players aren't like they are. Y'all are paying them a boatload of money. And Matt is so deep into the team that he is willing to pay multiple coaches just to satisfy some of the players on the team. Y'all know the Suns are paying $16.1 million to 2 coaches for the next 4 seasons, and only one of them is employed. Now, I don't know NBA coaches' salaries off the top of my head. But
10 mil is at the top end.
10 mil is at the top end per year.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. What they're doing doesn't. It's just stupid. So doing all this to appease Kevin Durant to not win a chip, doing all this to appease Bradley Beal to not win a chip, having Devin Booker just be so loyal. It's just loyalty to a fault. But also, I don't have any sympathy for him, because cold take of the week, Devin Booker is the new Bradley Beal. He's just on the West Coast. So, yeah, it is what it is.
Damn.
That's crazy.
No,
Bradley Beal, not Bradley Beal. I'm already doing it. Damn. Devin Booker's stock has dropped hella, like a lot in the last 365 days, man. Damn.
I think it's kind of funny too that I don't know if I necessarily agree with the take, but I think it's funny that the Suns, the year that they built the most well-rounded team around Devin Booker while still identifying D Book as the best player on the team, and made it to the finals. And then ever since then, they haven't done that. It's kind of fucking ridiculous. But yet again, we'll still have teams, players, and especially NBA fans that want these big threes, these 2 megastar teams. And y'all,
and
how funny
Ali,
sport we're in.
Ali just reminded us that the Suns, not the Suns, but the Bucks are paying 3 coaches. And again, another team that I am just done with. I don't even know what Giannis's comp is at this point. But hell, he's Bradley Beal too. So
I ain't gonna say all that because Giannis is pretty fucking good. But what I will say is the only
it's not about the talent. It's just about the misery. You're fine being miserable on this team. You want to be here to a fault. That's fine. You have an organization that doesn't know what they're doing, and partly because of you. So
yeah,
hey.
the forcing front offices to make moves on your behalf and pressuring them. I understand LeBron won that way, but he also lost that way, and a lot of y'all ain't LeBron. Let's keep it a stack.
I don't know anybody that's LeBron, so hey.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at on playback, but I'll say for certain, yeah, the only thing that kind of upsets me is one, you guys talked about player empowerment's, if anything, going to be at an all-time high more than it's dying down and needs to. I'm not saying put chains on them, fellas. What I am saying is I prefer the front office to do their job and the players to do their job. Do what makes you great, gang, because this is getting out of hand when you have other people trying to do other people's jobs and it's not working. 2, I'm not going cap, man. I'm scared for the new name coaches, because if what's gonna happen is player longevity is gonna be a thing, and players, let alone teams that won championships, are gonna have this grace to do dumb shit. I'm scared that the carousel of new names is always gonna be harder to add or harder to find if instead of being like, all right, KD, look, we honestly are trying to win a chip with you, but I ain't gonna lie, we gotta look out for the franchise as well. We gotta sign a new coach. KD gonna be like, fuck you, no. So then what ends up happening is you get a Coach Bud instead. I'm not dissing the Coach Bud move. I have no issues with it. My thing is, though, that's my fear about instead of a new coach, like, I don't fucking know, JJ Redick or some shit. You get what I'm saying? I think it's just bad. I think that's like a problem I see in the NBA that I don't really see in a lot of other sports. A lot of other sports, even in championship contention, if we have this terrorist in the locker room, or if we have some guy that's not working out, we about to hire a new offensive mind, a new defensive mind, a new name. Fuck it. It ain't gonna be the same 10 coaches getting hired or rehired and fired and shit. I ain't tired of it.
We gotta have that conversation about the Lakers next pod, because I'm gonna be honest, that situation is more infuriating to me than the Suns, dog. God.
I mean, yeah, it's losing out on Bud as a Lakers fan is kind of tough. You can't. I mean, we're in the same situation as Phoenix in the sense of, as much as I'm for potentially getting a new name or whatever, it's just at this point, I don't feel like hearing that shit. Most importantly, you got to win your locker room. Vogel clearly didn't have his. You got to win your locker room. Get a guy that the players will at least respect, because if they don't respect them, they ain't going to play for them. That's just how the shit is. We've seen that in the past. So I don't want a JJ Redick, even though if, like, let's say LeBron were traded, or if AD and LeBron were just gone on different teams, I'd easily welcome a mind like JJ Redick, but I don't want any new names over there. I know that sounds hypocritical, but we're in the exact same situation as the Suns.
Anyway,
I hate basketball.
Another great episode in the books, man. Bezos, say goodbye to the people.
Peace out, y'all. Playback, do not leave. We're just ending the podcast section. Appreciate y'all for showing out. I will be streaming late night tonight as well on Twitch. So, yeah, man. Into the shenanigans.
Say goodbye to the people.
All right, people. I don't think I'm streaming unless my appointment get canceled. Then I'm 100% streaming. But outside of that,
well, wait, you don't have a dick appointment. My bad. Let's just keep going. My bad, gang. That was crazy. That was nuts.
Typical down low comment. Look, man. Look, man. But outside of that, speaking of the stream, shout out to Dragon Ball fans. Turns out we can read. We read the manga today. Fantastic. But most importantly, man, we're on the way to 83,000. So, hey, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 100K. Whoop whoop, bang bang. All right, take care, stay blessed. See you later.
I will see you guys next time. New videos dropping every day.
Bye, guys. Around the corner. It's crazy.